Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of Prestige Liquids. My name is Andrew, and as always, it is fantastic to have you here with me again on another whiskey review video. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for joining me along my journey so far, and if you're new to the channel, then please make sure you hit the bell notification and the subscription button right now so that you can stay up to date with all future content. Well now, on to the show. Alrighty, Happy New Year and welcome to the first episode of the year. Today we are going to be reviewing something quite special for you. This is the IM2 from Craft Works Distillery. So while I get some information ready for you, let's just pour a little bit into this glass and we'll start to get started. So I have reviewed a few products from Craftworks in the past. For those of you who don't know, say Craftworks is a New South Wales distillery. They are located in KIPPIS. IM2 is the second official single malt release from Craftworks Distillery, the first one being I Am. I say official release because previously Crafty has been known for putting out independent bottlings with whiskies sourced from other New South Wales distilleries. So for this particular release, it has been aged in a variety of cask types. So he's used 3 old wood PX sherry casks, one oak super cask. Now, unfortunately, I can't remember the exact details about this super cask. This is something that I believe Crafty has had created, where he is using, I guess, some very old wine casks that he's been able to source for these releases. Um, the last one comes from Peter Van Gent Winery, which is located in Mudgee, which is not too far from Kapiti, and that is a vintage port cask. He has also used a combination of wet casks and heavy charring. American oak and French oak would have been used, and the cask sizes are a combination of 220 and 100 litre casks. This has been bottled at 55.1% ABV, or natural colored, non-chill filtered, or that kind of thing. So let's get on with the review and let's see what we get. So on the nose. Alright, so the first thing that you'll notice on the nose is just this heavy and dense stewed fruit notes. Expect things like sultanas, apricots, peaches, plums, like a fruit cup syrup. For me, this reminds me of a Finnish stewed fruit dessert that we have during Christmas time. So it's called kisseli, which practically is just a whole bunch of stewed fruits. You'll also get things like cinnamon and clove, vanilla, caramel. I also get dark and milk chocolate, lots of leather, tobacco, barrel char, and also like a hint of smoke that just comes and mingles its way through. One thing that you will notice when you try this whiskey is that it is something that opens up and evolves over time. The notes that you get just keep changing and changing and changing. So I am kind of just listing the main dominant notes that you will notice initially. Otherwise, I could be here for an hour just listing off everything that comes on, and that will just be way too long. So we'll give you the more concise review. On the palate, cheers. For the palate, expect lots of white pepper. It's very oaky and dry. I also get a lot of tobacco, leather. You can really notice like the roasted malts that are used. It has this nice chocolatey note that comes through, and also like a bit of a black coffee bitterness as well. Once that starts to fade away, though, that's when the sweetness starts to come along and more of the influence from the, I guess, the port and the sherry casks. I'm getting much of those same notes as I did on the nose. So again, you can expect things like your peaches, apricots, plums, figs, sultanas, those types of things. Again, the barrel char is definitely there. That's definitely a Craftworks character right there. Crafty loves the use of his heavy char, but I love the way that it actually complements all the flavors coming through. It doesn't overpower, but it balances everything. It's a really nice effect of the heavy char. Moving along to the finish, it is long and sweet. Again, heavy PX and port influence here on the finish. It's fruity, it's syrupy, it's got this nice sweetness that comes along, and then this smoke that comes in and dances along with it as well. So it's like this it's just this very interesting display of, I guess, like a sugary sweetness and smoke. You'll definitely notice the barrel char, milk chocolate, and interestingly enough, I'm getting things like hot cross buns. So it's got this bready note to it, mixed in with a combination of like cinnamon, cloves, all those types of like baking spices and things like that. And I think that influence comes in mostly because I think this mash bill recipe, I think, does also come from like an old stout recipe as well. So you have a lot of those types of like roasted malt notes coming in, and with that influence of those types of baking spices coming in from the PX and the port casks. All in all, I am to absolutely stunning whiskey. I have to say that between this one and the original I think for me this is definitely my favorite. I definitely prefer this one over the original release. It is much more approachable, even though being at 55% ABV, it is very strong. But what it doesn't do is throw that left hook at you like the original does. This is definitely something that will be more approachable for, I guess, people that are just starting to get into cask strength whiskies. If they're wanting a whiskey that's not going to entirely blow their head off, this is definitely a whiskey that you can get into. Also, by adding water into it, it will also help to give you that wiggle room as well, just to bring down the ABV to something that's a bit more comfortable for you if you're inclined to do so. I know I've played around with this already, and you do get some extra interesting notes that come out of it when you start to proof it down a little bit. So it definitely is a fun whiskey to play with. Crafty, again, another great job, another fantastic release. As always, I can't wait to see what else you have to bring to the table. You've been putting out some, again, fantastic products. One piece of constructive criticism that I will give, and I kind of give this to a few other distilleries that have been using wax seals. This was a bit of a bugger to get into. For distilleries that are using wax seals, please put some type of string around the lid. I mean, I can understand that, yes, it comes into extra costs, but look, we want to be able to drink the whiskey. We want to be able to get into it quickly without having to, I guess, hack away at it like crazy. But besides that, great job. That's my real only complaint. And I guess for now, I'll see you all again on the next video. KIPPIS. Oh, you're still here. Well, why not consider continuing on with some more content and subscribing? I'll see you next time. Bye bye.